We have new details this morning surrounding the mysterious murder of a young newlywed couple in Wisconsin. The attorney representing the person of interest who was taken into custody is now speaking out, saying his client insists he had nothing to do with this. Kelsey Kernstein joins us live in studio. Kelsey, what more do we know about this person of interest? I know you spoke to his attorney. Why are they naming their client before law enforcement is?
Yeah, Markie, I first have to say this is highly unusual that we would see an attorney name their client. Very unusual, doing it before police. But I do want to emphasize that police, they have not officially identified the person of interest in this case. However, after speaking with this attorney, I was told he decided to publicly name his client due to the overwhelming number of calls and press attention that his family has received even at their home. He also said that he has not heard his client's side of the story yet, but he will meet with him face to face today. Now, he also emphasized that his client should be presumed innocent until proven guilty.
He does maintain that he was no part of this, and I want that clear. And I also want anyone who's listening or viewing to keep an open mind with respect to that. The assumption is just because somebody's been arrested does not mean they're guilty.
Attorney Russell Jones right there also confirmed that his client right here on your screen, 57-year-old Thomas Rout Jr., was taken into custody on Sunday. It was in connection to the death of the bartender and her husband. Now we know that the Elkhorn Police Department stated that the person of interest was arrested on an unrelated matter. Now I went ahead and I asked Jones if he has any more details as to what that unrelated matter could be or what evidence he thinks police have at this time. And he said because police have not released a probable cause or formally charged his client, he's still not sure. Now, according to law enforcement, bartender Gina Weingart and her husband were gunned down inside the Sports Page Bar in Elkhorn, Wisconsin, just after midnight on Thursday. Now, the family says that the couple had just gotten married in June of last year. And the community continues to be shocked as to why somebody would kill this adored couple. Now, according to court records, Thomas Rout Jr. has a lengthy criminal history in Wisconsin, but I spoke to his attorney and I pointed that out, and his attorney said that should not be used against him in this present case. He urged the public to refrain from passing judgment prematurely.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.